somebody, a developer, found that the one of the preloaded applications on the device. You know how some devices come preloaded with applications, right? Typically, it's a Facebook or a LinkedIn. Well, an Amazon application that was pre-installed on a Motorola device had affiliate links baked in to that application. So if you signed into the Amazon application on any Motorola device, whether it's in India, whether it's sold here in the United States, whether it's a budget, whether it's a flagship, any Motorola device with the Amazon application on it, each and every time you purchased something on that Amazon application, somebody was getting kickbacks. So if you're unfamiliar with how revenue works on YouTube, we get revenue depending on how many people watch our videos and the watch time, how long each time. If you don't pay for Amazon, if you don't pay for YouTube Premium, and even we still get paid off of YouTube Premium watchers, but typically we get paid as YouTubers that are monetized off of the amount of commercials shown to a number of viewers. The more viewers, the more commercials, the more money we make. Now, there's another way that we can make money as well. Affiliate links. And look, I'll be honest, I participate in that. It helps generate revenue for the YouTube channel. Now, whenever I review a case on Amazon, I'll post a link in the description box where if you, the viewer, goes down in the description box and you like that case that I review and you select it and it brings up an Amazon page and you make a purchase on Amazon from my link, I get kickbacks. I've let that be known. Almost everybody does it. And I want to put this out there that whenever you make a purchase and I get, it's like 2, 3, 4% depending on the product, like 4% of whatever the purchase price is, we get in return at no extra cost to you, the buyer. So if it says $10 and you purchase it for $10, that's all you pay. And then we get, I don't know, 40 cents, right? That's how it works. And essentially, that's a very common thing. It's very common. However, what is not common is what got found in the Motorola code. So it got found out that Motorola has implemented affiliate links within that Amazon application on Motorola devices, and somebody was getting a kickback from those purchases. Now, if you think about it, how many Motorola devices are sold worldwide? That is a good question. Let's find out. How many Motorola phones are sold worldwide per year? Oh my goodness. So Motorola sells essentially, they sold 60 million phones last year. 60 million worldwide. That's 60 million devices with Amazon pre-installed. You can do the math in your head. And look, not everybody that buys a phone is going to make a purchase from that Amazon link, but I would say a large majority does. And if they get 2 to 4% of each and every purchase price and or sale from that Amazon application, that equals, I'm assuming, millions of dollars. Now, Motorola is ultimately to blame, but let me bring up this graphic to show you kind of how this works, right? So here's a Motorola in Amazon, and Motorola was secretly monetizing these Amazon links. So if you go on your Motorola phone and it's in your app drawer, your smart feed drawer. So if you have a Motorola phone, in fact, hang on. If you have a Motorola phone and you pull up the app drawer and you go over to your smart feed, which is sort of like a section in the drawer, and Amazon is pre-installed. what they're doing is you open up the application, it redirects whenever you open up that Amazon application, it redirects through an Amazon affiliate link through the Amazon app, and then the affiliate code is injected when you select that product and it goes to the product page on Amazon. That's when they inject that affiliate link. You make a purchase, they get a kickback. And you can kind of tell from this video, there's a little glitch when you open it up. You see how it redirected. This is a very good video on showing you exactly how it works. It doesn't just open the application. It opens, shuts, opens. And when it opens, shuts, opens, that's when it's redirecting you through that affiliate link. Now, why would Motorola do this, right? Motorola came out and made a statement. And what did Motorola say? Well, they essentially brushed it off. Now, they did say today that they have edited the code in that specific application, or they removed that redirect. They said it was an accident. Let me see if I can pull up what their statement said specifically. It says, come on now. Come on. Okay, well, I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time. Motorola essentially said it was an accident. You know, it got put on there. Essentially, it was an accident, meaning we didn't directly do this on purpose. It was an accident. Now, the blame ultimately falls on Motorola for allowing this to happen. It's like, the head of a company, or the CEO of a company, or the head coach of a football team. If something happens on the team of those players, the blame obviously goes to the players, but ultimately falls on the shoulders of the coach, because he's supposed to overlook everything that goes on that team, right? Well, same thing with kind of like Motorola, where, okay, you didn't mean to do it, but it was still there. Now, if you want to know my personal opinion, how it got there, if you do your homework, and I'm going to link this when we're done, what I think happened is one of two things. Now, the online investigators did their research. Very smart people. They did the research for us, so I don't have to. So check this out. Pretty crazy. That Amazon affiliate link. This is how I think Motorola was telling the truth. Not necessarily it was an accident, but here's what I think happened. I think Motorola had no knowledge of this. That's what I honestly think, because here's why. The affiliate link is linked to a fashion influencer, like an online influencer on social media that does clothes, and it's like me, but for somebody that reviews fashion and clothes and all that good stuff. The link directly goes to them, a social media fashion online person. Now, I think this got into Motorola phones by one of two ways. Either there has to be two parties involved outside of Motorola. This fashion influencer that was getting all the kickbacks. Can you imagine how many millions of dollars they were getting on these kickbacks? So I think the social media person that was getting the kickbacks did one of two things. Teamed up with a developer that applied for a job at Motorola as a developer, that got hired on by Motorola as a developer, and secretly injected this into the code of these Motorola phones. And then that influencer would essentially split, I don't know, 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, would split the revenue they made between them two. It was just their little secret, right? Who would notice? Or this influencer sought out a developer that worked at Motorola to recruit them, kind of like how the CIA agents do, how they recruit the assets from other countries to get inside information. Well, that's the other way that this could have happened. That social media influencer that was getting all these kickbacks somehow knew somebody at Motorola or recruited a developer at Motorola to secretly implement this code, and they would split the profits. I honestly believe that's what happened, because there's no way, in my opinion. Now, again, Motorola's not, I'm not giving Motorola no blame here. They're ultimately to blame, because even if they had no knowledge of this, that this was happening, how could you let this slip by? Because when these updates come out, the developers, they review the code. They get the code from Google, and then they essentially implement their Hello UI, or like Samsung does with One UI. They get that monthly update, they inject their skin on the Android, and then they push it out to their phones. So how did this go unnoticed? Apparently this has been in Motorola phones for some time. It doesn't say specifically, but we're thinking on terms of maybe multiple years here. And you could just start doing the math in your head. It's millions of dollars, I'm sure, that were generated from this. So how could this have snuck right underneath their nose without them even noticing? And remember, Motorola did not find this. This was somebody on Reddit or a developer that just stumbled across this, made a post, and now it's going all over the internet. Now, Motorola, shame on you. And this is one of the issues, and this is what makes me so frustrated with Motorola, because they are, I'm telling you, they are so close to being a legit, they are respected, but if you want to be up there with Samsung as far as flagship devices, you could. And this is my major issue with Motorola, is their updates, is their code, is they're not pushing. They're so close to being such a fantastic phone company. Say what you want, but that's just the truth. Some of the devices they're putting out are freaking awesome, and they are at a decent price. The new Motorola Edge 70 Pro, brand new, it's like $500. A fantastic device for what you get. The Signature, absolutely extraordinary. The Razor Fold, fantastic. The very best foldable in the world. Yeah, screw it. I'll go ahead and say it right now. They're so close to being right there, being held up there with these other companies, but this is one thing that's holding them back. Is their updates, is their developers. I don't know who they have in the development department. In my opinion, I think they need to invest in a special developers group or hire more developers. And I believe if they want to be taken serious, see, it's stories like this that people don't ever take them serious. It's not pushing updates to the remainder of their phones, but once every 2, 3, 4 months, why people don't take them serious. Again, they're only pushing monthly updates to two of the devices. The Signature and the Razor Fold are getting monthly updates for 7 years. All the other devices, they just throw to the side. And that's not cool. And that cannot be respected within the industry. And stuff like this story cannot be respected from within the industry. So I'm adding Motorola in this video because I want them to watch this. I feel like this is why I get so frustrated with companies like this, because Motorola, it's probably best, and I know this, it's obviously not up to y'all because you can't make the decision. I wish y'all would break free from Lenovo. Not that I have anything personally against Lenovo. I just feel that it would operate better as an independent company or underneath, I would like to say, an American company, but they have made progress, right? They have made strides just in the last 5 years, just in the last 2 or 3 years, they've made tremendous strides. It's just you're so close to becoming uh, well respected from within the industry for the devices that you put out. But you're not quite there yet, and this is a perfect example of why. Because if these affiliate links were baked into the operating system, into this pre-loaded application, the Amazon app, shame on you for letting this fly under the radar for months on end without you even catching it. And I know why. It's because you don't take updates serious. You do not have a good group of developers that would have caught this right out the gate. Samsung would have not even have let one update out the door with this affiliate links baked into their Amazon application. Google, the Pixel team, would not let one update out the door without catching this. Apple, not going to happen. So you need to get your shit together, figure this out, or else, I'm sorry, as much progress as you've made here in the last couple of years, you're not going to be taken seriously. And again, I'm going to repeat this over and over and over. This is the main issue I have with Motorola, is the updates and examples like this where developers should have caught this. This should not be an issue. Now, again, I don't think Motorola is to blame. I don't think they maliciously injected this affiliate code into their Amazon app, because the person that it's linked to is not a Motorola employee. It could have been me, for, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just somebody on a social media person online that's getting a ton of money on the kickbacks, or should I say used to. But shame on you for not catching this. Again, it's very frustrating for people that love technology that this continually happens. But it does. And if you don't have a good team, if you don't have a good team of developers, stuff like this is going to continually happen. So you need to get your shit together. You need to hire a good team of developers and issue monthly updates to your devices. Because if you do not, people are not going to buy them. Now, I know that's a stretch, because sure, people are always going to buy phones, but I'm saying, if you really want to gain consumer trust, get your developer team together and buckle up and push up dates monthly. Is that too much to ask for? I mean, I get it. You're pushing updates to your flagship phones, monthly updates to your flagship phones, but every other company is pushing monthly updates to flagship phones, to mid-range phones, and to their budget phones. Samsung, Pixel, Apple. So if you want to reach to where your competition is at, you need to meet your competition. Now, you have the stuff to surpass your competition, but you have to get to them first, and pushing monthly updates will get you there. And then providing a fantastic product will push you over your competitors, because I believe you have what it takes. It's just stupid shit like this that we continually have to run into, that degrades your name, puts salt in your wound, dirties your name. So are they scot-free? No. Are they to blame? No. They'll get a little bit of blame because this was unfound for a while. But what about moving forward? So let's say you did order a Motorola Razr Fold. Let's say you did get a signature. As of right now, Motorola says they removed that code. So moving forward, you should be good. This should not be an issue at all. We're taking their word for it now. I guess that's all we can do. So they've said they've removed it. Now, what you can do, if you have the Amazon application pre-installed on a Motorola phone, You can simply well, what I would do is go to your app settings for Amazon app. So if you have a Motorola phone, open up your app drawer, long press on that Motorola, excuse me, open up your app drawer, find the Amazon application, long press that Amazon application, press and hold it until you see a pop-up, and then hit the little eye with a circle around it for app info. Select app info and go down to storage and data, and then wipe the cache, and then wipe the data of that Amazon application. And then once you wipe the data and the cache, uninstall that Amazon application. And then what I want you to do is restart your phone. After you restart your phone, go to the Play Store, reinstall that Amazon app. So go to the Play Store, find the Amazon application, click download and install, and you should be good. If you just want to be perfectly sure that, now this, again, this is not hurting you by any means. It's not costing you any extra money. It's just the basis of it, how they're kind of sneaking in stuff. And again, Motorola, they said they didn't have any knowledge of it, and I take their word for it because the money was going to somebody else that's not even employed by Amazon, but isn't by Motorola. But that's even a little sketchy as well, that somebody could slide this underneath their nose without them noticing. And again, that's why we need monthly updates from you, Motorola. Get your dev team together, push monthly updates, and so we don't have any stories like this coming out anytime soon. Not a good look, especially when I've been touting y'all as, the next best thing, which I wish y'all would be, because the phone selection here in the States looks pretty freaking bad. And you could fill that void if you just got your shit together. Honestly, like, it's not that hard. My services will be available to you, Motorola Mobility, for consulting. I can let you know what the end consumer really wants to help you get on track, get your shit together, and put forward a fantastic product, because that's what we all want at the end of the day. So if you need a little help, my contact information is down below in the description box. Be more than happy to assist y'all, and let you know what us, the consumer, really wants from a phone company like yourself. So I appreciate the time. I think I got a roll. Motorola's like LG. Yeah, I just hope they don't become LG and fizzle out. I don't think they will, because they do sell a lot of smartphones, and again, they're in every carrier, right? In the US, they're in AT&T, they're in T-Mobile. All the carriers here sell Motorola phones. They're really, really big outside the United States, India. Really, really freaking big. But if they want to get more respect, especially in the flagship segment, which I think the United States, there's an enormous hole in the flagship segment, especially with OnePlus going away. I think they can fill that void, but they have to get their shit together, and they absolutely have to push monthly updates, not just to their flagships, but to all their other devices as well. I certainly hope they don't become like LG. But again, like I said, I don't think they will. If you look at their quarterly, if you look at their stats, if you look at their earnings and their market share, not just in the US, but around the world, it actually grew. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but they're actually growing. But it's just stuff like this that gives them a bad name, right? And it's little things like this that if somebody was right on the cusp, right when their fold's coming out, Razr Fold, if somebody sees this and right before or right as they're looking for an upgrade, and they're possibly considering a Motorola, it's stuff like this that gets out and it makes people second guess. Now they're going to be like, damn, I was going to get that signature, but I think I'm going to just go with the OnePlus, or I'll just go with a Pixel. It's stuff like that can hurt their bottom line. And let's be honest, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So where do we go from here? I have no idea. But hopefully they take this as a learning lesson. I just hope they get this is kind of what sparks their investing in their development team. Because trust me, this is a perfect example of how they undervalue developers. Like I mentioned before, this would not happen with Samsung, because after they get the code from Google and they implement their code in their skin, like One UI, they don't just implement it. Okay, upload. No, it actually goes through a review team. So a review team of developers actually goes through multiple. So one team or one person can't sneak it in there at the very end. It goes through multiple sets of reviews before it gets uploaded to their servers for updates, to push it to your phone. That's how I know Motorola does not value updates. Because if they had a traditional developer team, department like Samsung does, like Apple does, like Google does, stuff like this would not happen. I guarantee you, they probably have one review team, and somebody that works with this social media person that was getting all these kickbacks, I guarantee you, was on that review team, and they just pushed it through, and have probably been doing that for a couple of years. I guarantee you, well, at least I hope they're looking into who implemented it, because I trust and believe that social media person probably didn't hack into Motorola system, probably doesn't have access. It was an inside job. But that's why you have to have multiple review teams that look through the code, each and every line of code, that download it, install it on their phone in-house, run through it, check everything. It goes through a whole number of checks, a whole different set of teams to review specific things like this, so this does not happen. Do they use AI for their code? I hope not. No. They better change it. I know that, because stuff like this is embarrassing. And I think if they undervalue developers, I think they're selling themselves short. I honestly believe that. Now, I know each and every company is trying to save a few bucks here and there, but when it comes to developers and not having issues like this, it's money well spent to keep your name out of the internet mouth for stuff like this. If that makes sense. But we'll see where this goes. I'm going to keep an eye on it and give you any updates that I see moving forward. Again, Motorola did remove those affiliate links, and no user information was stolen and or payment information was stolen. None of that. These were simple affiliate links, but that does not mean Motorola is not at fault for letting this go underneath the radar, even if they had no idea. So I'll keep you updated. I got to roll. Motorola, I'll consult for you. Hit me up behind the scenes. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Woo.
I just need my space right now.
Fresh off the G5 jet, on my way to a brand